Okay, guys, so here we go. Finally, week 3 of our foundational pieces to build our business. This is building block number 3 that we're going to be talking about today. There was a Aubrey in here, and I didn't know who it was. I wonder. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so building block number 3 is going to be sponsoring. We need to make sure that we get back to the basics and understand how important the basics are, and never ever feel like the basics, like you're too advanced to even do a training on basics, because that, you guys, being solid in our basics are going to keep our business growing and going, and it's going to keep us and sustain us in the hard months such as this month. Like July is a little bit slower. It's going to keep us from being rocked mentally and in our business. So make sure you guys always come back to the basics. It's going to keep us from being overwhelmed and stressed out, especially when we see everything that's going on right now, because we see all the fluff, right? And the fluff is great. If you have time for the fluff, or you have the extra money for the fluff, then do the fluff if you can. But Shondine, your camera is like beautiful, like your lighting and everything. I'm like looking like, why am I in the dark? I don't feel like I'm like, anyways, I say this every week, but I don't fix it. My ring light, it's in the garage. All I got to do is come and get it and clip it on. But anyways, okay, so squirrel, I just seen your picture in your frame. I was like, oh, how pretty her lighting is. I'm like over here in the dark. Okay, so it's going to keep us from being sidetracked and doing what doesn't really matter. What matters is the 4 things that we've been talking about, right? Sales, recruiting, sponsoring, and personal growth. Next week will be personal growth. This is the 3rd week. But all we truly have to focus on, you guys, as a leader, as a consultant, period, and this is what I want you guys to trickle onto your teams, the 4 things that are important: sales, recruiting, sponsoring, and personal growth. Don't get stressed out. Don't get overwhelmed with everything that you're about to see, because some people do crazy banana things that their customers love with the new season catalog. And some people think they have to try to do that, and they don't get their catalogs out because they're trying to save money to do all this stuff. No, then what? How are you making money if you're not getting your catalogs out, right? So focus on these 4 areas of your business and free yourself of all the fluff. Okay, don't let that weigh you down, please. Now, some people might think, well, we already talked about recruiting. Like, why are we talking about this again? Sponsoring and recruiting are 2 different things, you guys. Recruiting is the act of going out there and getting somebody to join. Once they hit that join button, that's when we enter into sponsoring. Before, recruiting is going out there, talking to people, getting people to sign up. That's recruiting. That's the act of recruiting. The act of sponsoring is once they hit that join button, what do we do with them then? Okay, I feel like I'm in the dark. Hold on, guys. Don't look at my butt. Let's see. Let me see, guys. Hold on a second. That's not really. I just think my lighting altogether is bad on here. So I don't think that helped, huh? Okay, whatever. Okay, so that's the difference between recruiting and with sponsoring. So I want you guys to know the difference. So sponsoring is your relationship with your people from the moment they hit join. Okay. Now let's go ahead and jump right in. I want to be transparent. Who is texting level today? I want to be transparent. From the moment I started until now, I'm a completely different sponsor. And some of you guys may have witnessed, I don't think you guys have witnessed the beginning. None of you guys. No. I think Sean is the longest one here, I believe. But a personal one-on-one sponsor. When I first started, I didn't know what the hell I was doing because I promoted to director in 6 months. Like I was thrown in this whirlwind. The trainings were not as elite as they are now. In Sensi, we didn't have all these kinds of trainings, and it was kind of just you learn from your upline. And I love Carol. I love her. She was my favorite person in the world, but she didn't know what she was doing either because she was just like this happy rainbow, just kind of going through the motions and hi everybody. And I didn't learn a lot from like training wise and sponsoring wise. Heck yeah, I did. She was the best sponsor, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But when I first joined, I was kind of going through the motions and learning as I was going, and I was kind of stumbling, and I made mistakes, and then I started to pick from different other sponsors that I seen, and like, oh, okay, I like that, and oh, is this how it works? And okay, I was a sponsor. Hi, April. Thanks for jumping on. I was a sponsor that learned by trial and error from, and this may have been you too. This may be you too. You may be kind of bumping your head and stubbing your toe and trying to figure things out as you're going. And guess what? That's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. One thing that I learned as a sponsor, my personality is not everybody's personality. Now, I have Irene, Janelle, Danielle, April that I've personally sponsored on here. These girls are all different. All four of them are different. Irene is the humble, quiet, sweet, like complete opposite of me. Janelle is similar. We have similar personalities. We're, straightforward. April's like the fun, like bubbly, let's go have a good time. Danielle is like a middle of both. She's a business owner. She's got that. Vanessa, I have Vanessa. You're in the dark like me, Vanessa. Then we have Vanessa. Vanessa is like my softball friend, and we're crazy on the field, and we're gonna start a fight if we need. I mean, we're gonna handle a fight if we need to, kind of thing. That we're all different. But when I first started, you guys, I was trying to do everything with a hammer when sometimes I needed a screwdriver. Does that make sense? We cannot lead everybody the same way. And I wanted them to follow how I led. And that's not how it's supposed to be. I need to lead how they need to be led. If they need a screwdriver, I got to go to my toolbox and get a screwdriver. What do I mean by that? Some people are more soft. I don't talk to Irene the same way I talk to April. And it doesn't mean that I'm being fake. It doesn't mean that I'm not training them the same tools, but I train Irene different than I do April. Like April will be like, girlfriend, tell me what's up. Please advise. Like, what am I doing? Da, da, da. And then and I'll be like, girl, go look here. I don't talk to Irene that way because she's just a different type of person. April, I can talk to, I'm sure I can be straightforward with you like that, Irene, but I don't ever really need to because we don't have those types of conversations. But if Irene, just for example, would come to me and say something like April would say, like, hey, Rihanna, I can't find this. I've looked. And then I go on and find it right away, which is something that we've done, right, April? Where I'm like, girl, it's there. Like I'll tell her it's there. But if I say that to Irene and she's maybe a little bit more sensitive or soft spoken, she'll be like, oh gosh, why is she being mean to me? And that's just, I don't think that's how you are, Irene. You're just more soft spoken, but you see what I mean? We can easily offend our teamies. We can easily, for the most part, our frontline, we kind of know their personality, right? But as you keep going, you're going to come across people that just join your team randomly that you don't know, or maybe that you met at an event and you don't know them personally. This is why getting to know them is so important on a one-on-one level. They're not just a number, and they're not just a teamie. If they're your frontline, that means they've trusted you and they signed up under you. So you need to get to know them some way or another. When I first started, I started doing this is how it is. And I was harsh. And there's still some points where I'm straightforward and I'm not going to change because that's just how I am. But I've learned how to approach people differently and how to address things differently. So that's one of the things that I'm being transparent with. I had to learn by trial and error. And if you are in a spot right now that you feel like, man, I really haven't been a good sponsor, or man, I really haven't been present, I don't know how to teach my team, or man, I feel like I left them in the dark, who cares? That's yesterday. Start over today, start over tomorrow, and with a new mindset that, you know what, I'm going to be the best sponsor I can be. And guess what? You're not going to know right now what you will know in 6 months. I didn't know 4 years ago what I know now. August 1st will be my 4-year sense anniversary. I'm so excited. But if I knew then what I know now, I probably would have had so much more to offer. But that's how it works, you guys. Nobody's going to know everything. So take that heaviness off of you. Okay. You're human. Hold on. We're human. We need to go by trial and error. It's okay to make mistakes, but let me say this. You can become a good sponsor if you feel like you're not right now, okay? We all feel like that. None of us enter in like, oh, I'm the best sponsor. If you do, you're probably the worst sponsor because you don't know everything, okay? So, but look, let me tell you this before we jump in. I want you guys to be so transparent with your teamies. And even like Irene is an honorary person in this group because she's trying and trying and trying, and she's not giving up to find her very first teamie, such as Janelle. Janelle was persistent, and she finally got it. Irene is honorary, and she's sitting here. Irene doesn't have a teamie yet, but she's sitting here and building herself so that she's prepared for when that teamie does come. And I applaud you for that, Irene, because you can be anywhere else right now. And because right now you can say, well, this doesn't really apply to me. Yes, it does, because now you're going to be an even better sponsor than I ever was when I first started, because you're going to be prepared. So I'm proud of you, Irene, and that's awesome. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens in your business. But when your teamies come to you, if you make a mistake, if you do, you come off harsh, whatever, be transparent and be real and be vulnerable and apologize and be just a real decent human being. Don't act like, oh, I'm your leader. Like, don't do that. That's ugly. Nobody likes that. Okay. I feel like horrendous right now. Can you see me? Oh, okay. So that's one thing that I can do to suggest. There's some leaders that feel like, well, she needs to listen. And I'm telling her, no, she doesn't need to listen to you. You're not her mother. You give her suggestions. And if she does it, great. If she doesn't, oh, well, right? Okay. So moving on. In order to have longevity in this business, which it exists, I'm going 4 years on. Okay. In order to have longevity, we need to stay happy, and we need to not burn out. We need to not feel resentful towards our team. We need to not work and work and work until we're tired and we feel like we don't want to do this anymore. This sometimes doesn't feel like work, right? Because we enjoy it. Sometimes it's therapeutic, it's fun, we enjoy it. But if there's times where your family is saying, hey, hello, can you get off your phone? Hello, can you come spend some time? Can you come, do you have to do parties every weekend? Do you have to do events every weekend? We have to learn to balance, because eventually we're going to hit a wall and we're not going to enjoy what we do anymore. And that's huge. We don't want that to happen. In order to have a longevity in this business, we have to create a happiness in our leadership role. We have to learn how to love our business and be happy. We have to love to lead, even though we deal with some people, even though we deal with all kinds of different personalities, competitive spirits, people that just kick and butt no matter what we say, the know-it-alls. I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, we have 750 plus people in this group. Imagine the different personalities that I've experienced so far. Right? I've been told I overreact. I've been told that I'm not a good leader, that I'm mean, that I'm snotty, that I'm rude, that I've been told everything under the sun for the last 4 years, you guys. And guess what? As a leader, we have to have tough skin. We also have to be able to sit back and say, okay, well, this is a situation, maybe this person's just upset, but we also have to have those vulnerable moments and really do a reality check, because we're not perfect, right? I'm perfect, but not everybody. So I'm just kidding. It's humbling. It's a humbling position. If you ever aspire to be a leader, good Lord help you. I aspire to see people succeed, and that comes in this form of leadership. but you got to be ready for the good and the bad, because girlfriends, it gets funky. For yourself, of making people perform. It is not your responsibility if they succeed or if they fail. That's where happiness is going to come in, because sometimes we're like, I poured all this time into this girl and she's doing nothing. Okay. I have 70 something plus frontline, you guys. I've done trainings, I've done launch parties, and then they go ghosts and I never see them again. Right. And I'm just like, we have to learn to detach ourselves from the results. Our job is to offer training, is to offer the launch party, to offer the encouragement. That's our job, ladies, that's what we're supposed to do. But we're not responsible for their success or their lack of. If you are providing them what they need, the tools they need, you are doing your job. Whether they succeed or not is on them. And that's where we as leaders have to learn to detach. And that's something that took me a while, because I'm like, dude, I trained her, and I would be like, hey girl, hey, do you want to do the launch party? Hey, I noticed you have 0 in this month. You want some ideas? Hey girl, and then they're at 0. And I'm just like, God, what am I doing wrong? Have you guys ever asked yourself that? What am I doing wrong? I've asked myself that. Gosh, what did I do wrong? Did I come on too strong? Did I give her too much information? Did I not give her enough information? Am I not training her right? Does she not like me? We have to detach yourself from that. Okay. We're independent consultants for a reason. And when we learn to not push ourselves onto people, like we just offer, and then whether they take it or not is up to them. If somebody comes to you or you come to somebody and say, hey, you ready for this, and they're like, no, thank you, I'm just going to do this for a hobby. If they feel like you're pushing them or they feel like you're pressuring them, you're going to lose them. Because Danielle, I hope you don't mind this. Danielle started, I say it as I talk about it. I know you don't take anything like that. So I'm going to use Danielle as an example. When Danielle first joined, she didn't do much because she was busy. Other things in life had taken priority over Scentsy. Okay. She has a baking business, which it's always hitting, like she does great in her baking business. And other things in her life just prevented her from being able to focus on Scentsy. Danielle, answer honestly. I didn't prep her for this or anything. And if you say the wrong answer, I'm going to delete you right now. I'm kidding. Did I ever pressure you to sell or to hit goals or anything like that?
No, you didn't. I was going through some personal things in life and job-wise that I was not in a good spot. And I wanted the Scentsy out, like I wanted the gateway for Scentsy, but it was just not the time for me. And when I came back, I learned through that year of like how to talk to people, how to approach things differently and see a different perspective. And I feel like now is a good time, and I'm becoming a leader in a sense, whether it be my baking business, adding on employees, and then of course Scentsy. So just everything goes hand in hand, like with the baking and then the Scentsy. It's just all about personality and getting
I
to know
love
the
that.
product.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this, Danielle. If I would have created that atmosphere, like you have to do this, and why aren't you meeting these goals? And hello, would you have wanted to come back?
Probably not, because with my team, I don't push them that much. I just give them the tools and different things that can help them. And if they take it, great. If not, then I'm just like, okay, you don't want it right now, that's fine. And I'm just, every month I'm encouraging them like, hey, you're only $100 away from hitting certified. And it's just not their time right now. Financially, they can't buy for themselves, or they don't know. No one is buying from them. And I give them the tools and things that they can use. But if they don't use it, that's, it's fine. I'm not going to be all butthurt about it. And I think they like it because they still talk to me. They still order through my baking, and we still have that relationship. whether it be baking or not, or Scentsy or not.
I love that. So that being said, guys, if I would have created a hostile environment or a pressure environment, either she would have came back to Scentsy, but she would have chose a different sponsor because she was gone long enough. She could have chose any sponsor she wanted when she came back. Or she would have been scared, like, oh, I don't want her to be mean. I don't want her to put all these, don't do that to your people. Like she said, when Danielle came back, she came back in a season where it was time for her. It was her season, and she promoted to lead. She came back in. She came in as an essential. She hit certified, and she hit lead. This is her season, and it's because of the relationship that we had built between each other that she felt the desire to come back, or felt the, okay, I trust this person enough to come back in my season now. So do not, just like you can't, just like I cannot take responsibility for Danielle's success, I cannot take responsibility for her failure as either. And I'm not saying you in particular, Danielle, that you failed or anything like that. But if I would have said, oh, I'm the worst sponsor and Danielle doesn't want to do it anymore, and now, okay, but what about when she came back? Can I take responsibility that she now promoted to lead? No, that I didn't do that. She did that. Just like when it was her season to leave, it was her season to leave. Or if we have another teamie that all they're doing is complaining and not using the tools that we're giving them, and then complaining that they don't have any sales, or I already tried that, or whatever, is that your fault? No, right? So we have to stop taking this stuff personal, okay, guys? A good sponsor learns to detach themselves from the results after we give them what they need. Offer and then detach from the outcome. If we're training, we're coaching, we're mentoring, we're guiding, and we're being a cheerleader to them, then we're doing our job. And that should make you happy just alone, just offering that type of mentorship, that type of leading. Give freely, all of those things. Make sure that you are offering training. If you don't know how to train on certain things yet, how I started is I would watch YouTube videos. I would get my notebook and I would take notes, and I would train off my notes after watching somebody train on that exact thing. If you're still kind of maybe not ready to do that, okay, take baby steps. Go to YouTube, watch something that speaks to you, copy the link, and share it on your team page. Now, if you are a star and above and you are hitting consistently your numbers of star and above, you need to make a team page, because fall is coming and promotions are going to be happening like bananas. And you might not believe me right now, but trust me, this is going to be my 4th fall season. That's when people promote, because September, October, November are our biggest months of the year. Shondine's coming from director. I see you, girl. I know you're coming for it. You're going to get it. Desiree's already at star. Who do we have? Vanessa's are you at lead or star? You're at lead, right? You guys, I'm telling you, Janelle, you're at star, right? I'm telling you guys, if once you hit star, Nicole, you hit star, no, superstar. Nicole and Sean are probably our next directors in this group, and I'm just waiting for it, girls. I get it. Nicole, do you have your own page? Okay, Sean, you have your own page? Okay, good. Teresa, you are a lead, right? Or she's a star already? Jackie's lead. Christiana's star. Okay. Okay. Ariel, you are lead. Tanya, you promoted to star, didn't you? If you are a star and above and you are hitting numbers consistently, then you need to start making your team page, okay? And why do we say star and not superstar? Because superstar, once you hit superstar, your next thing is director, and you're ready to be booted. Not booted entirely out of squad goals, but you're now going to be responsible for your entire group. When you hit director, you become in Scentsy world responsible for your own group, your own group's training, your own group. Squad goals is still going to exist. It's going to be your home base, but you need to learn how to run your team page, and you need to teach your teams how to interact and how to engage, and that the expectancy of what is happening in your group. Okay. So if you're doing that, keep doing it. Give freely and love what you do. Love that you're training via YouTube. Love that you're training or coaching. Now, what is coaching? You don't have to do coaching calls. Coaching, let me say this, you guys, because I see coaching two different ways. Coaching can be totally like, this is how we're going to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's follow up. Coaching can also be, if April and I are sitting, we go to lunch, we go to dinner, we go to breakfast. If we're sitting there and we're talking about the business, that's coaching. Ask me questions. Whoever's coming on July 14th to my house to the little pool party, put your feet in the pool, we'll have food. That's going to be coaching, but it's going to be a different type of atmosphere, because we're going to be talking about things. I'm going to open it up to people that have questions, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's under announcements. I posted it, I open it up. Come to my house. We're just going to chill and talk about the business and just relax, get to know each other more and whatever. That's coaching. Don't think that it has to be this formatted thing, this formal thing where, okay, I'm going to send you a form, and that's not how you have to do it. It can totally be, hey, Irene, how are you? Oh, I'm doing good. Okay, what are your concerns? Anything you're struggling with? Do you have any questions for me? Let your teamies talk, see what they're struggling with, praise them on what they're doing well, and that can be a coaching call, right? It doesn't have to be this big old thing. Your only job is to offer these things. Detach yourself from the results. Now, what does a great sponsor look like? A great sponsor models the behaviors that they want repeated. Okay, if you are telling your teamies to sell, if you're telling them to recruit, if you're telling them to attend lives or go to attend meetings, if you're telling them to go live, if you're telling them to attend SFR, you better be doing that. Okay, if I had a sponsor telling me, oh, you need to recruit 2 a month, and she hasn't recruited in 6 months, I'd be like, girl, you need to practice what you preach before you come and tell me. We don't want to be that person that's do as I say, not as I do. We want to be the leader that people look up to and be like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. Oh, if she's struggling, it's okay that I'm struggling. Be transparent. If you're having a tough month, you can say, dang, girls, like on your team pages or on your chat, we'll talk about that in a second. Dang, girls, how or team, because there's guys here too. How are you guys doing sponsoring this month? You might have a teamie that's doing amazing and you're struggling. You could say, girl, tell us what you're doing. I'm having a tough month. If they see that vulnerability, they're going to trust you. Okay. If you make it seem like, why aren't you just recruit? It's so easy. No, it's not. No, it's not. Recruiting is not easy. It's the toughest thing to do in this business, but it's the most rewarding. Okay. So make sure you're modeling the behavior. That's number 1. Number 2, a great sponsor gives recognition. They reward the behavior, not the result. And what I mean by that, because it's easy to reward results, right? Like say we reward people. It's hard to say. We reward people that have hit 2000 club, right? Like, oh, you hit 2000, here's a little box and go girl. And that's rewarding the result. We want to reward the behavior that leads to the result. What do I mean by that? If somebody on your team went live for the first time and you know they were scared as hell, shout them out. Screenshot it, post it on Squad, post it in your team page, send them a text. I'm so proud of you. That's the behavior, because they took a step out into doing something new in their business. So reward that behavior so that next time they can feel, oh my gosh, I did it. Oh my, and they're going to keep doing that behavior. Something else that they do. How about when they offer the host exclusive kit and you didn't even mention it? That was their idea. They stepped out and they did it. Hey, I just want to shout out Shondine today, because she went out and she talked about the exclusive kit on her host, on her stories. I'm so proud of you. And Sean's going to be like, oh, that's a good thing. In her brain, in her heart, in her spirit, that's a good thing. I want to do it again, right? Or how about when they're talking about when they're doing whiff boxes for the first time? Okay, how about that? When they're like, oh my gosh, I get texts like, Rihanna, I'm doing my first whiff box. I'm so nervous. And I'm like, girl, go get it. Like, who cares? You're going to have, she's like, I only have 1 person so far. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you have 25 people on your first time. That's something to celebrate. Shout them out. Hold on, guys. I'm going to take a picture real quick for my Instagram if you guys want to smile. Gosh, this glare. Ready? 1, 2. Okay. I always forget, so I just remembered right now. Who is unmuted? Let's see. It's fixed. Okay. If they have a conversation with somebody about hosting a party, about joining, and they say no, reward that. Don't just reward when somebody gets a teamie. If somebody says, oh, I tried that challenge and everybody ignored me or everybody said no, good. I'm proud of you for stepping out. Go, girlfriend. Like, how does it feel? Oh, I didn't like the way it felt, right? Remember that, and then you grow from that. And next time you get told no, you're going to be like, no sweat off my back. Move on to the next, right? So reward the behavior that leads up to the result. Don't just reward the result. You can do that too. But if you want to teach your team, you have to reward the behavior that leads to it, because there's going to be people that are trying for it, but they haven't hit it yet. If you have somebody that usually does like $800 in sales and all of a sudden they shoot up to $1,700, celebrate that. Oh my gosh, look at you, doubled your sales. That's amazing. That's so awesome. Like, what are you doing? Share it with the squad, pump them up. So that next time they're like, oh, it's so close. You don't have to tell them, oh my God, girl, you were so close to your 2,000, you missed it by 200. They already know that. You don't have to tell them. Reward them for doubling their PRV, right? And you don't have to reward people out of pocket. I know things are tight right now, you guys. I know we have expenses up the wazoo in every direction. We're bleeding money. You don't have to spend all kinds of money. You can do a $5 Starbucks card via via the phone. You can do Happy Mail with a handwritten letter and a 50-cent stamp. You can do a post on Facebook to shout them out. You can do a private text. You can do a public post on their Facebook page so that everybody can celebrate with them. That's their friends and their family. Get creative, do things different. You don't ever feel like you cannot celebrate or send happy mail or shout out because you don't have the money. Recognition is free. It starts out free. Anything other than that is above and beyond. If you want to do that, great for you, but don't feel like you have to do that. Okay. Hold on one second. Family text. I gotta make sure. Okay. Moving on. What does a good sponsor look like? Number 3, they offer coaching, they offer training, they offer connection, and in a duplicatable way. What do I mean by that? Coaching, having conversations, letting them talk and ask questions to get themselves to understand. When we coach people, we shouldn't be the ones talking mainly. They should be. Okay, because we want to teach them how to work their way out of their struggle. We are guiding the conversation, but we're not giving them all the ideas. We want them to become self-sufficient. We want them to become thinkers and brainstormers and problem solvers, right? So if somebody says, Vanessa, do you have a something that you're stumped with in your business right now? Is it not unmuting? Hold on.
Wait, okay, no, got it. Yeah, everything, like sales. I've reached out to so many people and no one is wanting to buy, especially like even with the 10%, I keep pushing the 10%. I've even asked for 2 people to book Facebook parties, like what better time than now, because their customers get 10% off and all kinds of stuff. I mean, and nothing, like literally nothing. I'm not even active yet. And normally I'm active like on day 1 and I'm not even active. And it's just been like a struggle.
Okay. So this is a real life coaching conversation, because she's my frontline and this is a conversation that we would have. So how am I going to guide this conversation without telling her what to do? Okay, so she's already answered the next question, because usually they'll be like, oh, I'm struggling in sales, period. My next question would be like, okay, what have you done so far? She's already answered that. I've done this, 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 and this. Okay, so my next question to her would be like, okay, so it sounds like your customers are kind of full right now. They're kind of, you know, they're all bought out right now. They stocked up. What can we do to find you a new batch of customers would be my next question, right? So what would your answer be, Vanessa?
Well, I did what you told me to do today about, or what you suggested about doing like a, what is it? The bag,
The borrow bag.
the borrow bag. And I sent it out to a few people who have not bought from me, who have not like, they like my stuff, but they never buy, they never anything, right? So I reached out to them and I got 2 people to do borrow bags. So I'm hoping that that will reach a new customer base, because one, they're not one of my customers. And now they've said, okay, yeah, let me try it. Let me see what this is about. And I'll give you feedback, because again, I didn't say buy from me. I didn't say anything like that. I just said, I just want your feedback. I want you to see it. Let me know what you think. And someone actually said that they're interested in buying. And this is a, you know, I said, well, great. It's a good way to try it, you know, and see if you like it. But again, like no pressure, no nothing, because I don't want to pressure anybody. I just kind of want to see how they feel about it.
Good. Okay, so now she's trying her answer to the question, what can we do to make more customers come about? She's talking about trying something new that she's never done, which is borrow bag. Okay, borrow bags, I talked about this in the live. I'm not going to go into it. You guys can watch the live I did earlier today. So now I'm going to say, okay, what is the time frame you put on that, and what are your expectations? The reason why I'm going to ask her this, because I don't want to just, I want her to think about these types of things when she's starting to try new things, or when she's putting things into place. She's not going to just throw something out there and whatever happens, happens. And hopefully, you know, we'll see what happens. That's not a good business plan. So Vanessa, what are your expectations from this? And when are you going to follow up with this borrow bag?
So my expectation is, one, they're going to like it and they're going to order. They're going to keep the warmer, because I'm giving new warmers, hoping that they'll either keep it, and if they don't keep it, they're going to want to purchase one that they like. And my follow-up, so I'm dropping off the bag tomorrow, and my follow-up is going to be on Sunday. So they're going to use it tomorrow, or I'm going to have them use it tomorrow, and then use it throughout the weekend. And then come Sunday, I'm going to go get it and just pick it, say, hey, I'm picking it up, and hope that they either one, keep it, or they're going to purchase one that they like.
Okay, do you guys see how this conversation is being guided into results? Because if it could have easily went, okay, well, try this, and let me know what happens. Because that would be me taking control of the conversation, rather than letting her brainstorm and her wheels start turning. She didn't know I was going to ask her any of this stuff right now. Okay, my last question would be, once she does buy, how do you make her a customer? How do you keep her? Because right now, what she presented was her customer base is kind of stagnant right now. The ones that are all bought out, they're bought out. You can't do nothing about that. How do we make new customers? We're not talking about making a sale. We're talking about making customers. So Vanessa, once this person, hopefully the expectations happen as such, what are you going to do to make this person become a customer?
I haven't thought about that yet. I haven't really thought like what, other than, I guess, keep introducing new product to them. I haven't really thought about that.
Okay, so you're going to get a lot of that. When you're guiding conversations, you're going to get, oh, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I never thought about that. Or you're going to get them starting to spin your wheels, because now you're thinking about it, right? Now you're thinking about, shoot, okay. So what my thing would be is, now I insert a suggestion. Anytime I get a new customer, that person is so vulnerable to be swayed to either never buy Scentsy again, to not make me an exclusive Scentsy girl, or, you know, whatever. So my thought, once I get a new customer, immediately I'm sending them Happy Mail. So Vanessa, where'd you go? Where are you at? Did you disappear?
No, I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. Vanessa, as soon as you drop off that bag tomorrow in the morning, when are you dropping it? Okay, tomorrow morning, when you drop it off, you tell her you plug this in, blah, blah, blah. You explain the bag, okay? By midday, you're texting her and saying, thank you so much, Danielle, for being willing to try this borrow bag and give me your feedback. I'm so grateful for your time, whatever, right? Period. Okay. Then the next night, we could do that night. You don't want to overwhelm them and be like, dude, like, I'm not your best friend. Stop texting me. You don't want to do that, but you do want, like, after that, after you say, when you follow up, let me know if there's any questions. I'm happy to help. Okay. So then the next morning comes, which is Saturday. Hey, I just wanted to follow up with you. Did you get it plugged in? Do you have any questions? Was everything working right? Yes, everything was great. Okay, then you don't talk to her again till Sunday. Hey, so I would love your feedback. I would like to pick up the borrow kit, the borrow bag around 6 p.m., but I would love your feedback in the meantime. How easy was it to use? Did you like the fragrance? And then, like you said, hopefully she buys. If she does buy, there's two different ways I would go. No matter what, she's getting Happy Mail from me. Okay. On Sunday, when I pick up that bag, whether she buys or whether she does not buy, she's getting a Happy Mail from me. She's getting something that says, thank you for your time. It's going to have a catalog. It's going to have samples. It's going to have a little Canva made personal thing that's not generic. And it's going to have a handwritten note that says, I appreciate you, because nobody does that. We don't get that from Target. We don't get that, like that's not normal. So if you make this an experience for these new people, then she's going to be more interested. She's going to, her brain's going to be like, there's something different about this transaction that I like. Okay. So then she's not expecting anything. She bought something maybe, and here comes Happy Mail. Or maybe she didn't buy something and she still got Happy Mail. That's huge. So solidify your customer, Vanessa, by making them feel special, even if they're not your customer yet. Okay.
So I guess I didn't understand your question, because I do that. Regardless, I always try to, or anyone that purchases, doesn't purchase, who are on who try things or who are interested, I send them samples. I send them something. I always try to send something, information, anything like that. So yeah, I do that always, because I want to keep everybody, I want to keep them happy and keep them coming to me. So yes.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you guys seen a legit live guided conversation, coaching call, coaching talk, or whatever. That should be normal for us with our teamies, with our frontline. We should not be having those conversations with people that are not our frontline, unless their sponsor is not present. If you find yourself training other people's teamies, you need to take a step back, because then you're taking time from your frontline. And let me tell you this, your frontline is what brings you the biggest paycheck amount, is your frontline. If their sponsor who is under you is not training them, then you need to find out. Okay. So let me see, who can I use as an example? So say Desiree, she's my frontline, and she's an amazing trainer and sponsor and all that. So I can use you and not make it legit. So say Desiree's teamie reaches out to me and says, Rihanna, how do I do this and this? Okay, let me tag you. If anybody reaches out to me, by the way, you guys, I send them right back to their sponsor, because it's not my job to train them, and I feel it's a disrespect. Okay. If you ever have a question and you don't reach out to your sponsor and you come to me, you can expect a text like that back. Okay, let me screenshot this. I'm going to text your sponsor and let them know, and they'll reach out to you soon. Just a level of respect, the chain of command. That's how it goes. Okay. So, and I don't have time to train everybody's teamie. I don't have time for it. So what was my point in saying that? See how I get off track? What was I saying?
If people
Yes.
reach out to you and you're not their sponsor, you send them back to.
Yes, but what was the reason I was saying that? I had a point. Whatever. Okay, so if they reach out, oh, I know what I was going to say. If they reach out to you and you're not their sponsor, and they tell me Desiree's not helping them, I'm going to say, okay, let me reach out to Des and see what's going on. I won't say see what's going on. I'll say, oh, let me talk to Desiree. I'll be back with you shortly. And I'll say, hey, Des, I got this screenshot, and I'll send it to her. And she'll be like, Rihanna, I taught that girl this already, or I've already gone through this. She doesn't listen. I told her what to do. Some of our teammates like to ask questions of our sponsors, and then they don't really think that's the right answer. So they'll go and come to me, and I'll be like, oh, your sponsor said she told you this already. Make sure touch base with her again, and she'll go over it with you. So they know they don't play that with me. I don't do that. I don't like it. Okay. So, but if you do have a person under you, so say Desiree doesn't respond to me. I'm like, hey, Des, so-and-so's asking for help. Are you able to take care of this? And she ghosts me and she doesn't respond back to me. Then I can see that Desiree is not a present sponsor, and I'm going to start working with her team. Guess why? Because if Desiree falls off, those people are rolling up to me, and I need to have some type of relationship with them. So keep in mind, yes, you do not want to directly put your hands on everybody in your line, but you need to make sure they know who you are, and you need to make sure you're holding your leaders under you accountable for training, coaching, cheerleading, all that stuff. It's not your job to do that for everybody. Okay. Make sure you're training them. Make sure you're showing them how to overcome obstacles through the guided conversation. Show them, point them to the training. Please do not spoon feed your people. This is one mistake I made when I first started. I would be 100% accessible on my phone 24 hours a day. And if they asked me a question, I would go find the answer and I would give it to them. My entire day was consisted of helping people find answers. Don't do it. If you are one of my frontline, you know it, because I'll tell you. I'll say, here's where you find it. I want to teach you how to fish. I'm not going to give you the answer. And you might have been like, ugh, but I don't care, because now you're self-sufficient and you know how to find your stuff, right? Okay. We need to make sure that we're offering connection, an opportunity for connection, either via Facebook group chat, in-person gatherings. And we need to make sure it's done in a duplicatable way. And what do I mean? If we are throwing these elaborate gatherings where we have chefs come and you're going to scare off your teammate, because they're going to feel like they can't do that with their team. I don't have the money to do that. Be humble in your gatherings. Yes, do your style, do what fits you, but also do something that's duplicatable, that makes other people want your job and feel like they can lead like you lead. Okay. Let them get an idea of how to do it. Oh, the Facebook group. If you come in squad goals and you're taking notes, you're gonna go and learn to run your group the same way. Oh, she comes on and does this. Okay, she does that and this, and it's duplicatable. Okay. Make sure you're offering that connection. If you never offer a Facebook group, a group chat, any type of interaction like that, where you're getting to know them one-on-one or in a personal matter in your group, then you're falling short. Okay. If you haven't done it yet, do it now. You want to make others want your job. Number 4, a good sponsor, you want to make others want your job. If you are 100% busy all the time, you're going to turn people off. And this is something that I had to learn, because somebody told me when I asked them if they wanted to start sponsoring, oh no, girl, I can't do what you're doing. I can't be doing this all day. I have 4 kids. And I was like, bing. That was one of the moments where I had to be vulnerable, because she was right. Did I tell her she was right? No, I didn't. But I realized that the way I was working my business looked exhausting. Even though I was enjoying it, it wasn't attracting people that wanted my lifestyle, which means they're going to bow out at a certain point because they don't want to do what I do because I'm too busy, right? If I'm always annoyed, If I'm making it look ugly, oh God, Scentsy sold out again. Oh, my shipment. Oh, the wax bars are melting. Oh, then that's how I'm going to create little versions of me like that. Do you think I want a bunch of annoying, complaining brats? Heck no, I don't. So I need to make sure that even if I'm having a bad day, that I don't come on and show you guys that. When you're in leadership, you're taught to vent up. Like all of you guys could come to me and vent about what you're feeling, or maybe your team or your sponsors or your directors, go to them. Do not complain and vent to anybody under you. Okay, don't do that, because then they're going to take it and run with it. Do not do that. So once you get your teamie in here, we're going to fly through this last part because I want to finish quickly. Once you get your new teamies, what do? Within 48 hours, you are on a FaceTime call or a training call with them. Okay. We have to get these people while they're excited, because when they sign up, they're at the peak of their excitement, right? They're like, oh, okay, let's just do it. Join, right? So within that 48 hours, you need to get that training done. And when I say training, we're not trying to teach them everything in the freaking Scentsy world. Have them make sure they can print out the consultant guide or go through the workstation. All we have to do is go through the workstation with them, answer any questions they may have immediately. Tell them the most important things, which is shooting star and certified. You don't even have to go through sensational start yet, because that's 70 days in. Let them hit shooting star first. Ask them if they want to. It's their option, not because you want to earn $25 credit if they do, because just in case you didn't know, if your new teamie hits shooting star within 15 days, you get $25 product credit. If they say no, they don't want to, you leave them alone. You don't be like, well, you have to. No, they don't. And then certified, that's the next thing you want them to do, because you want them to get their pay raise. Because if they feel like they're making progress, they're more likely to stay. Okay, they're more likely to feel like, oh, this is working. Our biggest thing, you guys, is to get them to go through their consultant guide within their first 48 hours. I would say this. Let's walk through the workstation. Let's talk about shooting star and certified, which is what I do. I give them the pay information. We talk about the compensation plan. And then I'll say, go through your consultant guide and your first things first list on your workstation. Then once you're done with that, let me know and we will move on, because I don't want them wasting my time if they're not serious. I don't want somebody saying, and this happens over and over again, I will sit on a 30-minute training call with them and then they go ghost and they don't put one single thing. I just wasted 30 minutes of my life. Okay. And we can never tell what's going to happen. They might be successful. They might not be. But do what we got to do first. So the consultant guide. Hey guys. The consultant guide is our best tool, guys, because it talks about everything. Okay, teach them how to work before they even jump in. They decide their goals, not you. Okay, don't be like, oh, I need them to hit certified because I need to hit my incentive. Yes, that helps when they hit certified, but it's nothing about you. Don't ever make it about you. Let them know about the fast start rewards, shooting star, certified. I wouldn't even do sensational start on my first conversation. Ask them, offer them help with their launch party. If they don't want to do a launch party, leave them alone. It's okay. Just say, okay, let me know if you change your mind. I'm happy to do it for you. Okay. Do not be like, well, you really should, you should, because no, just leave them alone. Some want help and some don't. Some want me to do their launch party and some say, no, it's okay. You know what? Oh, just give me a book. I'll do it myself. Okay. I think I've done launch parties for every single person on here. That's my front line, right? Or Des, did I do your launch party? April, I did yours. Vanessa, I did yours. Irene, Kathy, Danielle. Yeah, I think I've done every, Janelle. Yeah. So some people want help and some don't. You got to be okay with that. Okay. If they're going to be hobbyists, let them be hobbyists, because we need them too. Don't ever make anybody feel bad because they only do $200 every 4 or 5 months. You need that. Okay. Everybody's the same value. If someone doesn't want to do the business, and we're going to end on this note, if somebody doesn't want to do the business, do not chase them. A good sponsor does not chase, because you need to use that time and resources to go find people that do. Okay, if don't, you'll build more respect, and Danielle can vouch for this. You'll build more respect for those people that want to just be left alone and do it as a hobby, or do it whenever they feel like it. For before she came back, that's how she was doing. She was doing it at her own pace. I didn't bug her. I didn't, she respects, I'm sure, more than anything, that she wasn't being pressured. And you'll build a good relationship. Set good expectations when they first come in. Let them know it's going to take work. If they want to make a check, it's going to take work. Some people think you just post on social media and all the sales come, and it's magic and it's woo, yay. That's not, you'll get some like that, but that's not real life in this business. You're going to post, you're going to text, you're going to email, you're going to pull your hair out, you're going to cry, you're going to laugh, you're going to be excited. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. It's all part of this business. Set real expectations for them. And also set real boundaries for your teamies now. You should not be answering calls at 10 p.m. There's no business that works at 10 p.m. for customer service. Well, maybe randomly, but not for Scentsy. You should not be available at 10 p.m. If you're laying in bed with your husband answering texts about Scentsy, then you need to check yourself. Okay. If you're watching a movie with your family at 9 p.m. and you're getting texts from your team, you need to check yourself. And you need to put those boundaries in place now before your team gets even bigger. And we've discussed this before, and then it gets out of control. Okay, anybody that texts me after 9, for the most part, there's exceptions here and there, you won't get a response till the next day. And most of the time you found your answer. Teach them to fish and set expectations and boundaries as a sponsor. Okay. The biggest and most best thing you can do as a sponsor, and I've learned that from Carol, and I'm going to finish with this on my bestest friend that's no longer here with us anymore. Be their biggest hype squad, their biggest cheerleader. I don't care if they cross the street. You're like, you cross the street, girlfriend. Yeah. If they put in the biggest order they've ever put in, if it's the most PRV, I don't care if your PRV is 3,000 and their most is 300. You freaking celebrate that. You celebrate them sending out Happy Mail. Celebrate them taking a leap and handing out a scent circle. We might think, really, girl, that's basic. No, it's not basic, because people are stepping out of their comfort zone, and we need to be their biggest hype squad. Trust me. When my frontline knows, because I'll tell them, and for the squad too, I'll tell you guys too. Get it, girlfriend. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. Look at the growth in you. I see you working. I see you growing. Am I making stuff up? Am I coddling? Am I sugarcoating? No, I'm on the sideline cheering them on, because we don't have that in this life. At what job do you have that, right? For the most part, you don't. April, when you guys win a game, does the principal come and say, hey, good job, April? Oh my God, look at you go. She's a coach for softball at high school. Irene, what do you do for work?
Accounts receivable for a manufacturing company.
Okay, Irene, when you close an account out for the end of month, right? Do they, oh my God, Irene, good job closing that account. Girlfriend, look at you getting this done. No.
There are no pats on the back.
No pats on the back. When you make dinner, for the most part, are your kids like, oh my God, Mom, thank you. You're the best mom ever. Yay, dinner. No, right? When your husband pays the light bill or pays the rent or the mortgage, you go there, pay that rent, pay that mortgage. No, we don't get that in real life, right? So why not here? Why not be the place of refuge? Why not be that place where people look forward to being, and this is their happy place, and they're, they want to be. We need to be that to our frontline. We need to be that to our group. Your group is anybody under you, including everybody that they've sponsored. You're turning into that person, Des. Good. I don't like people. I don't like people. People think I like people because I do this business. I like people to stay away from me. Yes, I like people to do their own thing and let me be. I like to be home ask Vanessa, like, I don't talk like this on the field, right? I'm not like, and if I'm in my circle and when we're in the drinking squad in left field, yes, I'm like this. But when we're around the whole team, I'm not like this. You don't see this side of me. This is not who I am. I became this person and I learned how to lead through Carol. Carol taught me how to celebrate. Carol taught me you freaking show up at people's door unannounced with flowers and with something from Dollar Tree that she put in a basket and made look like it's $50 worth of gifts. Make your people feel special because we don't get that in this world. Some people are dealing with some crapola at home and you have no idea. And those little shout outs and the little happy mail or the little showing up at the door or leaving something on their porch means everything to them. And that's what's going to keep people here. If they feel like if I leave Scentsy, I'm not going to have this anymore in my life, it's going to keep them, right? They're not going to want to leave this atmosphere. Create an atmosphere for your group that they don't want to leave. And I promise you, you're going to keep growing in numbers because they ain't going to want to be without this group. Okay. You're going to have people leave. Yes, it's part of it. But for the most part, once I started learning how to celebrate my entire team and shout them out and come out of my comfort zone and actually mean what I'm saying, that authenticity and genuineness and the kindness started to pour out of me. And that's just not naturally who I am. Like, I'm not naturally like that, but it became who I am and I love it and I wouldn't change anything about it. Do you guys have any questions about what we discussed in any part of it? If so, you can ask now. I'm also going to upload this new consultant training list. It's self-explanatory. I don't need to go through it because it's literally self-explanatory. That way you guys can start using it because we need to start sponsoring this new incentive that's coming up August 1st, you guys. Most of it's going to be sponsor based and getting new teamies and getting them to succeed. And this checklist, you're going to be ready for it. Okay. And like I said, they said they're going to include some things for July for new teamies in July. I don't know what it is, so that we can get started working this now. Any questions? Any questions? Are you guys going to try to earn the incentive? It's a trip. The fall incentives are trips, all expenses paid trips. And I've attended every one since I joined. I did Mediterranean cruise where we went to France, Italy, and Spain, all expenses paid. Went to Marco Island, me and Chris, all expenses paid. We went to Cancun, all expenses paid. I earned the Bahamas, but it was canceled because of COVID, all expenses paid. It's real life, you guys. Gina, my Kobe, she joined and she earned her first year, all expenses paid for Disney. It's real life. It's not just, oh, only the top earn that. If you learn how to sponsor and build and build that culture and be their hype squad, you're going to grow a team and you're going to earn these trips. That's why I'm so excited to talk to you guys about it tonight, because this is leading up into August 1st. And I want you guys to come out the gate. Why are they doing so good? Because they attended trainings that were made for them specifically. Hello, right? Okay, any questions? Nothing? Nothing. All right, guys, this is going to be uploaded so you can go back to, it'll be on my YouTube page probably by tonight because Chris isn't home yet. So yeah, by tonight, share it with your teamies that are team leads also. And I'm just so proud of you guys for showing up. Keep showing up. That's where the business is, and that's how you keep growing, and that's how you're going to earn this incentive, by learning how to do what it takes to get it and to be a good leader. Next training is going to be on self-growth, personal growth. So make sure you're here because it's very important. And the last part of our 4 steps, because we have to keep growing personally in order to keep being an asset to our team. We never arrive, ever, ever, ever. All right, guys, that's going to end our training tonight. Have a good Thursday, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.